In this module, we will learn the meaning of socialization and how it is developed. Also, the family, peer and school influence on the development of socialization. We'll also learn to identify different factors which play a role in socialization through family, peer and school. We'll try to evaluate the social factors which influence socialization of a child. Let's see what is socialization. All of us are born in a particular place, time and social context that also involves a culture. Culture is a very broad term, but in general it refers to features of everyday life of a group of people located in a given time and place. Some of these characteristics are visible and can be easily identified, while there are many that are below the surface of everyday awareness. The systematic training into norms of a particular culture is called socialization. It involves the process of learning the shared meanings and practices that help us in making sense of and behave in appropriate ways in that culture. This process of socialization begins at birth and continues throughout adulthood. Socialization actually starts before birth, when the families begin to project their dreams, hopes and expectations on the expected baby. Socialization is a term constantly used and enhanced by sociologists, psychologists, anthropologists and educationists to describe the process by which an individual inherits norms, ideologies and customs of a particular culture. This process thereby aids individuals with apt and adequate skills, habits and acceptable behavior necessary for participating and being a valid member within their own society. So one can say that socialization becomes more than just being social with groups. It also incorporates those behaviors that promote and continue values, norms, customs, traditions, symbols, etc. of a specific culture, thus preserving it. A good example of this cultural education is the process of gender socialization. For example, the first general question the expectant parents are asked when they have a baby is whether the baby is a girl or a boy. This answer sets in motion a series of expectations and actions based on gender. So, in this example, if the parents are told that they are having a baby girl, they may begin to buy clothes, gifts and other material for decoration and preparing her room. But the colors that they choose, the toys and other material that they buy is informed by what is deemed appropriate by their culture. Socialization is influenced in different ways by family, peers and schooling. The family ideally should be a strong biopsychosocial unit, which means that it is a strong biological, psychological and social unit. The family is a biological unit because of its major function of procreation and regulation of sex. But it is also a psychological and social unit because members interact with each other and give the necessary psychosocial support. Taking this point of view, the family can be classified as either emotionally fertile or emotionally barren. Each type of family has influence on the children. The child is usually referred to as the mirror of the family. Now, the family as an agent of socialization. The basic unit of all human societies is the family. It serves many functions. One of them is procreation and regulation of sex. Secondly, socializes children. Thirdly, it provides economic resources. Fourth, it provides psychosocial support. There are various parenting styles and they affect the social development of children differently. These are firstly autocratic, then permissive or laissez-faire and democratic that influence the social development of children. Let's see what is autocratic parenting style. Also understood as a dictatorial setting, parenting environment is of a domineering nature where parents demand from their children complete adherence to the conduct or behavior established by them without any scope for questioning or explanation. If the child fails to adhere, disciplinary measures are forceful and harsh, which can also be accomplished by physical beatings. In such environment, children are usually unhappy, insecure, and have low self-confidence. Child abuse is reported more from such type of family settings. Secondly, permissive parenting style as opposed to autocratic parenting style is one where hardly any control is exercised on children. Children, irrespective of their behavior, are hardly coerced by their parents. Parents promote a laissez-faire attitude, so much so that the child is allowed to indulge in openly, even in destructive habits. Since parents do not establish any code of conduct, children growing up in this environment do not have a sense of control. They are excessively free, even to the extent of believing that anything they do will have no consequences, therefore indulging more in harmful behaviors towards others. Thirdly, democratic parenting style is considered to be the ideal parenting style. Here, the parents provide both an environment for exploration for children while deducting certain behaviors through their set code of conducts. A liberal environment, children are given opportunities for making decisions and provide guidance in order to help. Not bonded by fear, children are able to talk more freely about their problems, even sexuality, with their parents. Children growing up in such settings are confident, smart, and have self-control, assertive. They follow constructive social lifestyle. There are various ways in which family influences socialization of children. First, emotional tie. Family is the first emotional tie for the children. The process of socialization begins from the first moments of life. It is through the process of socialization that one learns to become a member of the society by acquiring skills, values, habits, and behaviors of the family one is living in. In the family, we listen and watch what members of our family do and imitate those actions to become a normal member of the society. Greatest impact on socialization process. A family can have different forms, from nuclear to extended or joint, from single parent to blended, and also broken families. A family is a social unit in which all members live together and share beliefs and customs. Family exerts enormous influence and power in shaping our lives, identities, and thus what we ultimately turn out to be. First place to learn language, norms, and values of the culture. Parents, siblings, extended family, and friends, usually the ones that influence us and shape our identity. Through interactions with them, we pick the language that we speak, the religion we believe in, the food we like, the way we dress up, and many other things, and that is what makes up the family unit. There are many things that we are used to because we have experienced them since birth and we consider them as normal. But what we grow up doing can be remarkably different from someone else in the world, and so each one of us grows up with different ideas, views, and norms. We continue changing and learning throughout our lives, but we also maintain the basic structures we have acquired from the beginning of our socialization, that is, the things that we have picked up from our family. Qualities of parenting and parenting styles of individual parents are not the only factors that influence the socialization process. The larger family climate is also an important factor in the socialization process. For example, harmonious or conflictual marital relations influence children's socialization process. Children who are exposed to a great deal of conflict between their parents are less likely to show positive developmental outcomes in terms of socialization. Parents or guardians may reproduce negative modeling that they experienced as a child. For children, parents are their role models. A girl who sees her mother taking part in physical activities and sports will grow up with the idea that it is okay for girls to play sports. If a boy in his family sees his father helping to take care of the new baby and also sharing some of the mother's responsibilities, will integrate the image of daddy as a caregiver into his developing image and representation of masculinity. But parents do not only serve as positive role models, they can also be negative role models for their children. For example, many children who grow up in abusive relations at home have been found to repeat the same pattern as adults. So, a male child in a family with an abusive father grows up to be an abusive husband, and the female child in the family grows up to be the victim of domestic violence, just like her mother, because they have been shown that this is normal. Peer group and socialization. For an individual, a peer is understood to be someone who shares same rank of qualities. Therefore, peer groups consist of people that share some views and virtues where an individual can feel comfortable. For successful establishment of a group, regular interaction is required, which also gives the power to influence each other. A child or an adolescent is also judged through the kinds of groups he or she is part of. For instance, if a person's friends in the group consist of those who have body tattoos, then that individual too might want to adhere to unconventional lifestyle of that peer group. So peer groups can influence young people to try to break free from their parental and societal constraints and establish their own independent identity. Individuals in a peer group have certain common features such as age, class, school, mode of dressing, choice of music, etc. Teenagers spend more time with their friends than their parents, and so peers have considerable influence on adolescent behavior. The adolescent wants to belong in his or her group and flow with others. For example, an adolescent would want to avoid being mocked for not taking alcoholic drinks or for being a virgin, and so on. Peer groups function as a support system for adolescents as they assimilate into the adult society. It decreases dependence on parents, increases feelings of self-sufficiency, and helps in connecting with a much larger social network. Cohesion in peer groups is determined and maintained by factors such as group communication, group consensus, and group conformity about various behaviors and attitudes. Through this interconnectedness and agreement on behaviors and attitudes, a normative code develops. The normative code can at times be very rigid, determining group behavior. Peer group individuality is increased by normative codes and intergroup conflict. If the members deviate from this strict normative code, then this can lead to rejection and exclusion from the group. Peer group becomes immense influence on individuals. Adolescents are often pulled in the tug of war where the expectations of parents and peers often conflict. Let's look at the ways in which peers influence socialization. A peer group is a form of social group in which members share common interests, social positions, age, attitudes in common. It is through peer groups that children escape supervision and learn to form new relationships independently. The influence of peer group is most during adolescence. Peer groups generally affect short-term interests, unlike the family that exerts long-term influence on children and adolescents. It is among peers that children learn to form and maintain relationships on their own. Peer groups offer a chance for children and adolescents to discuss interests and topics that adults may not share or permit, such as fashion, music, sports, smoking, drugs, sex, etc. Peer groups can also help members to learn about gender roles. Through gender role socialization, in peer groups, group members learn about sex differences, social and cultural expectations based on gender, etc. Although boys and girls differ greatly, but there is no one to link between sex and gender roles, with males always being masculine and females always being feminine. An individual can contain different levels of masculinity and femininity. Adolescent peer groups do not provide support for children and teens as they progressively assimilate into the adult society, but also decrease dependence on parents, increase self-sufficiency, and provide individuals with a much larger social network. Peer groups significantly influence social and psychological adjustments for individual members. They provide individuals with different perspectives outside of individuals' viewpoints. Members in the peer group learn to develop relationships. Group members act as social reference and teach individual members the customs and social norms and ideologies of the group. Peer pressure. Peer pressure generally refers to instances where an individual feels indirectly pressurized into changing their behaviors and attitudes to match that of their peers. Some of the common examples of peer pressure are underage drinking and smoking. Though the word peer pressure is generally taken in a negative sense, it can also have positive connotations. Characteristics of the peer group as a means of socialization. There are several characteristics that define peer groups as another medium of socialization. Peer groups are different from family as rules are not handed down by adults. Rather, children come together to form rules that are sustainable to their group environment. As compared to family or school, the gratification that children derive from the group is more immediate because of time constraints. A peer group can act as an alternative to the adult standards, authority, and codes. Socialization in peer groups is highly significant. Children interactions with people of their own age group provides them with an understanding that they have control over their world and can modify perspectives about themselves. As children move through childhood, these characteristics become more salient. The movement towards better understanding of oneself is established when the child learns to develop rules and regulations suitable to him or her, even if those codes of conduct might differ from their parents, and getting immediate feedback from their friends regarding their behavior as themselves and as a group member. In a group, children learn to accept views and beliefs of others too in order for group to work as a whole, therefore establishing an understanding that views and beliefs of other members are also important and significant for his or her sense of self. Now let's see what is the role that school plays in socialization. It is in the school where formal education takes place, but even informal but significant education happens in school. With the current education system in India, a child will be in school for 16 continuous years. The school has an important role in shaping personality and in the process of socialization. The school not only transmits skills and practical knowledge, but also cultural values, patriotism, aspirations, concerns for others, etc. In the school, the child has interaction with teachers, non-academic staff, and other students. Many peer groups are rather school-based. Some schools are also noted for certain qualities that the school tries to pass from one generation to the next. Faith-based education system today are also playing a significant role in the moral upbringing of youth, even to the university level. Now let's look at the ways in which schooling influences socialization. Firstly, it provides entry into a new social world. One of the first tasks the child faces as he enters a new classroom in elementary school is to gain an understanding of his role or where he stands in relation to classmates and the teachers. The cognitive map or perspective is associated with the child's developing status as defined by his or her peers in teachers. Then it sustains the importance that society places on gender and race. Schools perpetuate gender typed play and interaction. Boys and girls in school engage in gender divided play that gives gender related messages about sexuality and aggressiveness. The skills and abilities that children learn from their friends are gender based. In peer interactions, a boy generally learns about negotiating conflicts, being assertive, and becoming a team player. Girls, on the other hand, are more likely to communicate one on one and learn the skills of listening. Schools provide information to individuals to understand themselves and others. Classrooms provide a great opportunity for new groups to form, which provides children opportunities to choose their own groups or form new ones. Inside a group, interactions with others help in expanding their knowledge about how people behave. They learn to coordinate their own behavior with others in order to form friendships. On another hand, the group as a whole provides feedback on an individual behavior and attitudes which help in developing self-knowledge. Exposure to inequality. The child acts as an alternative to society and community that lives outside its boundaries. Like society, schools consist of individuals from diverse cultures, sexuality, gender, socioeconomic background, and so on. Therefore, it provides a ground for children to learn to socialize well with those with different set of ideals and customs. Inequality arises when children engage in activities like bullying, public shaming, and exclusion of particular individual because of a person being different from them. In order to tackle this inequality, school established strict rules, making sure that any diversion from it will result in consequences. For example, expulsion from school. On the other hand, students also learn to stand up against inequality when they see how to face it. For example, reporting to teacher when a fellow classmate is being bullied in secret. Then it increases opportunities for learning control, making children feel more competent. School provides an explorative environment which is more flexible than that of home. Children learn to develop decisions about themselves and their work on their own under the guidance of their teachers, counselors, and other adults. They also have the opportunity to choose a social group more openly than in family environment. Such decision making successfully establishes a sense of control within them, which further instills self-confidence over every successful decision making. Role of the school teacher. The major aim of a teacher is to achieve cognitive, affective, and psychomotor objectives of formal education system. The school teacher can be a very influential agent of socialization. The way a teacher handles the child in the classroom can affect the child emotionally and intellectually. Thus, many of the schools now have guidance counselors that assist students and help them cope with various problems and issues at school. Students often consider their teachers as their role models, so teachers need to be morally upright and be good role models for children. Now, to summarize, socialization is the process of learning the shared meanings and practices that help us in making sense of and behave in appropriate ways in that culture. Family reproduces socially through socialization. It is the first source of socialization for a child and has considerable influence on the child by being a place to learn language, norms, and values of the given culture. It can sometimes create problems for the child in the process of socialization when parents or caregivers become a negative role model. Peer group helps in the process of socialization by giving a route to escape supervision, influencing short term goals, teaching gender roles, and helping to become independent from family. Peer pressure can be both positive and negative. Schooling opens a new door to the social world. It sustains importance that society places on gender and race, provides information to understand self and others, and gives exposure to inequality in the larger world. Schools also increase opportunities for learning control, making students feel competent. The school teacher is an influential agent of socialization. The way a teacher handles a child in the classroom can affect the child emotionally and intellectually.